So much said today. During your career as an elected official, the things you will always remember, how you help people, how you help those that are most in need. Today's passage of the Green Light Bill is a historic day. I'm extremely proud and humbled to have led the effort here in the Senate with all of my colleagues. And many of you have given me credit for what's happened here today. But we cannot forget our leader, Andrea Stewart-Cousins. Madam Leader, you have established and proven time and again that you are an expert at the long game. Many nights during this process, I was feeling down. I was feeling depressed. I was feeling like we were not going to be able to accomplish this for people. But time and again, you have demonstrated your intelligence, your leadership, your acumen, and your resolve. And I want to tell everyone here, all the advocates here, that they owe a debt of gratitude to our leader who leads for all New Yorkers. I want to thank also my partner in government, a Bronx-side Assemblyman, Assemblyman Marcos Crespo. I'm proud to say that as two Puerto Rican men, we have changed the trajectory of many of the immigrants that we see in the gallery today. Thank you, Assemblyman Crespo. I want to thank all of my dedicated colleagues across the political spectrum who have taken the time to meet with me, to discuss this bill, and offering opinions. All of them. And I also want to apologize for my zealous advocacy, and if I offended anyone, please accept my apology. But I did it for the people that we're going to be helping. I would be remiss if I didn't thank the best staff in the world that anyone can have. I have a wonderful chief of staff, Sophia Lejeune, a wonderful director of legislation, Chantalie Martinez, and a great communications director, Crystal Cajas, and the rest of my staff who worked so hard to make this happen. And of course, my son, Julian, who offered me such wisdom, a young man who at a very young age is a lot smarter than I was when I was his age. And I also have to thank my beautiful wife and my beautiful young child, who many of you have known, got to see. I also want to thank hundreds of community leaders, organizers who mobilize across the entire state, many of them who are here today, who will be impacted by this legislation more so than any of us. We would not be here without their tireless advocacy, courage, and commitment to the greater livelihood for all immigrant communities. I harbor no ill will to anyone here, including my colleagues on the other side. I wish that our exchanges and dialogues could be more in the way that I've done with my good friend on the other side, Senator Lanza. Senator Lanza and I have had discussions about green light that were respectful. We acknowledge our philosophical differences. We acknowledge that the problem with immigration laws today is at the federal level, and until they fix it, we're going to continue to need legislation. But it was a philosophical difference, but it's respectful. And I wish our dialogue was more of that than referring to human beings as illegal or criminals. In the era of such divisive politics, we will never be able to accomplish what we want to for the greater good of this state unless we learn to respect each other, unless we learn to deal with each other, try to learn from each other for the greater good of New York State. Today's vote shows that we, as New Yorkers, are committed to the dignity and safety of all our community members, especially the most marginalized amongst us. We are taking a stand for the rights of immigrants in the time where their livelihoods are being threatened and degraded to extreme degrees. We will not fall silent, and we will not be bystanders to the degradation of that American dream that we all want for everyone in the state of New York. But today, instead, we choose to lead. We choose to lead with courage, justice, equality, and most importantly, love. The Green Light Bill will give immigrants the ability to go about their daily lives with greater ease, confidence. They will feel safer and stronger with their families, build a more trusting relationship with law enforcement, and contribute to the economy more than the $1 billion that they contribute to the state of New York. This bill makes our roads safer. It generates revenue in a time where we may have an issue with revenue in the coming years. And it also spurs the economy in areas where the economy is not doing well, especially in upstate New York. And more importantly, it treats everyone here with dignity. We know that this is the right thing to do for our state. The benefits have been stated and understood by countless groups, elected officials, law enforcement officials, business and municipal leaders across our wonderful state of New York. You know, I want to really highlight the Ossining Police Chief, Kevin Sylvester. Here's a member of law enforcement with a large immigrant community who very early on in the process met with me, explained to me his concerns with the bill with law enforcement, and we were able to amend some of the provisions to satisfy his issues. He was a brave person. He was one of the first members of law enforcement that acknowledged that the Green Light Bill is good for the entire state of New York, and it's good for public safety. You have people like D.A. Sivance, Eric Gonzalez, Darcel Clark. You have the Business Council, a relatively conservative group, who said this is good for the state of New York. You have the Vegetable Growers Association, the New York State Trial Lawyers Association, the New York Insurance Association, and major unions like 1199, NYSA, NYSNA, the New York Times, Cranes New York, and the list goes on. And some of my colleagues here have mentioned that the New York State Attorney General said that she will defend any legal action against this bill and indicated that we have built in the protections that are needed for everyone, not just undocumented immigrants, but everyone in the state of New York. But mostly, Green Light is for the children. I have my child here. And the thought of losing my child because of a traffic stop, because of running a red light, would kill me. Today, I am here with this bill for the children of Delilah Yeen, who is here today. Ms. Yeen has a child who suffers from disabilities, illness, and is in constant need of medical care. And she cannot, on occasions, take her children to receive the adequate medical attention, to do something as simple as going to a doctor's visit that may actually save her child's life. This is for the children who fall asleep every night, unlike my child. Every night, with lingering fear in their hearts that someone might come in the darkness and take away their mother and their child, their father, and they may never see them again, or may never see them again for months on end. Because that is what's been happening in this country. This is about the countless children who suffer, children in my district who were taken away from their families and are living with Catholic charities. To the children, this country will provide you with a bright future. We are here, each and every one of us are here for you today. And to all the immigrants, you are here. You have always been a part of the fabric of the state. You have been the backbone of the state and country, and you deserve to live a life without fear. The beauty of the American dream is the promise to build a better life for everyone, each and every one of us here, for everyone. Today's vote helps support the promise of the American dream and will stand as a light of hope to so many of our immigrant friends, neighbors, family members, our children who live in the shadows. We see you. We welcome you with open arms. You are here, and today we give you the right to move freely around this state without fear. Mi gente, la lucha continúa y que Dios me lo bendiga. I vote affirmatively. Thank you.